Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to draw a realistic eye. I'm going to go ahead and start sketching the very top part of the eye. Light sketches. You don't want it to be too dark because then it's going to be harder to erase. Then there's a bottom layer for the eye. The eyelashes, they come off from this area. They usually just branch out like this. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the iris. Alright, now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and draw the pupil. Remember guys, you're sketching. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not drawing perfect circles. I'm not perfect myself. I don't expect you guys to do anything perfect. Fixing it up a little bit because I know this is too far out. Usually the eyelashes right here, the bottom eyelashes, you know, they just curve outwards. They curve outwards to the left side on this side, and then they curve downwards here and to the right side here. So what you want to do is go back and erase a few lines and make them a lot cleaner. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just creating an imaginary line where the eyelashes will go. Eyelashes really curve. They have an origin, which would be probably in the center, and then they would curve downwards and then curve upwards. So it pretty much creates a U. So over here, they go downwards and to the left. And on the right side, they go downwards and to the right. And that's pretty much what the eyelashes will consist of. They're random too, so don't get too caught up on trying to make these as realistic and organized as possible. They're not organized, but they do have a pattern, and this is pretty much what I follow. So we're going to go ahead and create more of like a window effect. Now what you want to do is start to define everything. You really don't want to get too caught up on trying to make the eye perfect. The eye is pretty much a bunch of lines. Like, let's just say this goes all the way around like this, you know. Kind of like a circle, but not quite. Alright, now we get into the fun part. This is charcoal powder, which I pretty much use charcoal sticks, and I just pretty much rubbed it on another sketchbook, and every now and then I'm going to be rubbing my brush onto this sketchbook. I jump around a lot, so you'll probably see me doing that pretty frequently. I usually like to start on the left side, so that way it doesn't smudge as much as I move towards the right. This area is pretty much black, so I'm gonna use one of my charcoal pencils, which is a medium, and I'm gonna just start covering this. Now as you get closer towards the edge of this paper, a cool thing to do to make it look more realistic and to have that texture is actually use the pencil itself. It leaves like these textured marks on the paper, and you want to use that. See that? And then just rub it in with a brush. I'm gonna still use this medium charcoal pencil, and I'm gonna use my brush. I'm gonna go ahead and add the highlights too. Just these soft highlights. Now what I like to do here, there's going to be some pretty sharp highlights, so I'm going to make sure to fill it in pretty dark, because I'm going to go back with the eraser and lighten it up. Now this is my electric eraser. I'm going to go ahead and add the highlights. So I just got another brush out. This one's a little bit bigger, so that way I can cover more ground faster. It needs to be a little bit darker here. And here you're gonna do a hook for eyelashes to make it look more realistic. Nothing is white, so even the eyeball will be shaded in, so that way whenever you do make the highlights, they're more crisp. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the veins in the eyeball. Now how I do this is I'm pretty much shading the veins. They're soft lines. We're gonna darken this up a little bit. So we got our medium charcoal pencil, and then go back over it with a brush. This is a pretty cool technique that I use. It's just filling everything in one shade or one tone, and then going back with an eraser and picking up some spots to create that texture of light hitting the eye. I really don't know exactly how I want it to look, but it's just gonna be pretty random. And I'm gonna make even sharper highlights. I'm gonna go ahead and use my hard charcoal pencil again to make the eyelashes on the bottom. And just kind of define it a little bit, because over here there's going to be a lot of highlights.
From beneath the sand, things can take me close, seem so far away. Across this universe, she lives another day. I know the reason she stays. I know the reason she's so far away. I know the reason she stays. I know the reason she's so far away.
You're pretty much going to do the same thing throughout the entire iris. So what this part of the iris has consisted of, it's just me layering with a brush and then erasing some areas and then going back at it with a hard charcoal pencil just to darken some areas up. And that's pretty much the same strategy that I go throughout the entire iris. Same thing and same technique.
She's so far away.
I'm gonna get out my medium charcoal pencil. For these eyelashes, since it's more towards the center, you want to bring it downwards and then upwards, kind of like a fish hook. Now I'm going to create some highlights on the very top just so you can see the reflection from the top of the eyelid. Okay, now that I have that covered, I'm going to go back with my brush and just go over the entire thing. I can go ahead and create my eyelashes, but before I create my eyelashes, I'm going to go ahead and fill this line in. I'm going to cut this section off right here, so now I only have this to focus on. It's all about consistency. You pretty much do the same thing throughout the entire eye. Once you get the technique down, you pretty much get a rhythm, and it'll be a lot easier for you. The cool thing about filling this in completely black with the medium is that you'll be able to get the charcoal from the eye, and you'll be able to spread it outwards, so it creates that the effect that I want. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to circle it off with the medium. Alright, now that most of this is complete, I'm going to go ahead and shade the eyeball. And I'm going to start with the corner of the eye by making this a little bit darker and defining it, but with a brush, not a pencil. Even the lightest parts of the eyeball won't be white or left blank. Everything will have a tone, a gray tone. This paper has been smudging, so I'm just erasing that area. We're going to create that sharp highlight over here with an electric eraser. And all of this is going to be dark. All one tone until you get to the center. Now that that's covered, you want to go ahead and create the eyelashes. I'm gonna go ahead and make these sharper highlights here. Just random. Now we're just going to make some highlights over here.